Welcome back, class 10, your history class. Continuing with chapter 7, National Movement from 1919 to 1934. Today we'll start with the impact or significance of non-cooperation movement. Freedom was still far off, and the government was as irresponsive as before. So the government did not respond to any of the movements which the Indians started, which the nationalists started. The wrongs done to the people of Punjab was not righted. Whatever wrong was done to the people of Punjab, it was not corrected. Neither was the Khilafat question resolved. The Khilafat movement was whatever the trouble was there with the Khilafat movement, it was also not resolved. Yet it would be wrong to say that the movement was a failure, but then it would be also totally wrong to say that the movement was a total failure. It did not impact anybody. The gains of the movement may be described as under. The movement provided a great national base to the Congress organization. See, through this movement, the Congress got a national base, it got a national identity, it got a solid base. In fact, non-cooperation on a mass scale was first practiced in 1920 to 1921. Gandhi evolved a program which would mobilize the masses in the national movement. Gandhiji started a program or invented a program which will include the masses in the movement. All sections of the society, peasants, workers, lawyers, students, moneyed class, women, and oppressed class could now actively participate in the movement, the struggle for freedom. So, all various classes from peasants, workers, moneyed class, women, everybody could now participate in the movement. People of all castes, creeds, and regions proclaimed Gandhi as their leader. So, different people from all various stratas of society proclaimed Gandhi as their guru or as their leader. The movement undermined the power and prestige of the British government. So, the movement created a anti-British feeling because Britishers thought themselves to be the superior, undefeated king of the world. But this movement forced them to realize that no, they are not, and their prestige was deeply and very gravely hampered. There was a total loss of faith in the present system of government. The people wanted to get rid of their rulers. The British officials were now nervous and a bit shaky. Now, third is repression failed to crush the spirit of courage of the people. Now, the torture from the British front, torture from the British people or the officials failed to crush or failed to totally suppress the nationalist feeling of the Indians. Gandhi was because the movement made the people very bold and patriotic. They courted arrest and faced police brutalities with a smile. They willingly went for arrest. They faced the torture of the Britishers with a smile on their face. Gandhiji was determined to emancipate the poor and the oppressed. So, removal of the poverty and the oppressed class, removal of untouchability and promotion of khadi, khadi was the hand woven cloth, became the essential tools of Gandhi in the struggle against the British rule. People took to charkhas, domestic spinning wheels, in a big way. Message of Swadeshi spread quickly everywhere. These are regarded as the positive achievement of the non-cooperation movement. Another positive achievement was the movement set the scene for Hindu-Muslim unity. Never before had any movement received the willing support of so many people, the Hindus and Muslims alike. Both the Hindus and the Muslims supported this movement. The weapons of Satyagraha and non-cooperation changed the character of the Congress overnight. So the Congress character of Congress totally changed. The Congress was no longer a deliberative assembly. Deliberative assembly means only making decisions, not taking actions, but an organized fighting force. From a deliberative organization, it became an organized fighting force pledged to revolution. They took the oath to make India free. Jawaharlal Nehru described non-cooperation as a peaceful rebellion, a more civilized form of warfare, and yet dangerous to the stability of the state. So it was a peaceful organization, peaceful warfare, peaceful rebellion done by the most civilized people, but it was very dangerous for the stability of the government. Swaraj Party and its work. The suspension of the non cooperation movement caused a strange dullness in the Congress camp. Obviously, because they were very active when non cooperation movement was there, but after the Chauri Chaura incident, the law breaking part was dismissed, and the other part, the positive part, was there. But there was a suspension was there, so there was a strange dullness was there. People were uh, very sad and things like that. Gandhi was in jail and Khilafat agitation was also subsiding, but the main leader was in jail. There was much argument amongst the Congress leader about the next step. The congressmen led by Chittaranjan Das and Motilal Nehru were of the view that legislatures should no longer be boycotted. They therefore came to be known as pro-changers, for the changes. Sardar Patel, Rajendra Prasad and others, on the other hand, felt that congressmen should carry on their struggle from outside their councils. So there were two belief camps were there. Now, the Swaraj Party. The Congress at its Gaya session in December 1922 rejected the council entry proposal. So immediately after the session, some distinguished congressmen formed a Swaraj Party within the Congress. Chittaranjan Das was the president, and Motilal Nehru was his secretary. The Swaraj Party aims at entering the legislatures and using them as political platform to expose the evil designs of the government. So, what was the main work or the main aim or the main objective of the Swaraj Party? To enter the legislature and to expose the government, and they expose their evil designs, evil plans. Elections of 1923 and 1926. The elections of 1923, the Swarajists secured a considerable number of seats in every provincial legislature. The Central Assembly, out of 105 elected members, 47 were Swarajists. In August 1925, the Swarajists succeeded in having Vallabhbhai Patel as the president of the Central Legislative Assembly. Now, what was the achievement? The Swarajists failed to bring the government to a standstill. They failed in doing that, but they drew the attention of the government to some vital problems, such as improving the conditions of the workers, reducing taxes. They missed no opportunity to attack the anti-people policy of the government. Always they attack the anti-people policy of the government. Now comes the Simon Commission. The purpose of the commission. The Act of 1919 had provided for the appointment of a commission or a committee or a group to inquire into the workings of the reforms introduced by it. Accordingly, a commission with Sir John Simon as president was appointed in 1927. The 7 members of it were all British. No Indian people were there. All parties in India protested against the all British composition of the commission, because since you are inquiring a thing or inquiring about the reforms which were done for the Indians, at least there should be two or three, a couple of Indians, prominent Indians in the commission. So reaction against the Simon Commission. So obviously there was a wild reaction against the Simon Commission. The Simon Commission landed in Bombay on 3rd January, the 3rd February 1928. I deliberately say Bombay. In the book, it is written Mumbai. Now it is Mumbai, but then it was Bombay. That day was observed throughout the country as the day of strikes or Hartal and hostile demonstration. The whole country rang the slogan Simon Go Back. Of the numerous protests and demonstrations, the one at Lahore on 30th October 1928 took a serious turn because Lala Lajpat Rai was brutally assaulted by a British sergeant. He sustained injuries from which he could not recover. Lala Lajpat Rai's death on 17 November 1928 spread a shockwave throughout the country. Police officer Sawdas, who was responsible for the assault of Lalaji, was later shot by a great revolutionary, Bhagat Singh and Rajguru. So they shot the police officer who was responsible for the assault on Lalaji, and ultimately his death. What were the recommendations of the Simon Commission? The Commission submitted its reports in 1930. The three main recommendations were as follows: diarchy should be given up and provincial legislative council should be enlarged. Double government should be given up and provincial legislative council should be expanded. A federation representing both Indian, British government and princely state was sought to be set up. A federation representing members from the British India and members of the princely state were to be set up. It was stated that the Viceroy's executive council, that means the cabinet, could not be made responsible to popularly elected legislature. So they started shaking off their responsibility. All political parties condemned the report as partial and inadequate. But the Nehru report and the later civil disobedience movement were two important offshoots or side effects of such Simon Commission recommendations. Now, what was Nehru report? An all-parties conference was held at Bombay in 1928 May, month of May. The conference appointed a committee with Pandit Motilal Nehru as the chairman to frame a constitution for India. The report recommended a federal setup for India, that is linking up the princely states with the British India. It proposed joint electorates with preservations of seats for minorities and legislatures. Seat preservation should be there. The report laid great emphasis on the fundamental rights such as the right to vote, freedom of conscience, and freedom from arbitrary arrest, search, and seizures. All of a sudden, the Britishers cannot come and arrest. The Nehru report was submitted on 10th August 1928. Mahatma Gandhi considered the report as one of the big achievements of the year. What did Gandhi say? Gandhi said that this Nehru report was one of the greatest achievement of Indians in the year, for the year. But the younger generation of the Congress, led by Jawaharlal Nehru and Subhash Bose, demanded complete independence. They always wanted complete independence. Mr. Jinnah, an earlier congressman but now a prominent leader of the Muslim League, demanded more representation of Muslims in the central legislature and in Bengal and Punjab councils. So what did Jinnah say? Jinnah said, okay, all these things are good, but we need more Muslim representations in the central legislature and in Bengal and Punjab councils. So in today's class, we completed a very important portion, that is the significance, impact and significance of the non-cooperation movement. We had a very brief idea of Swaraj Party and its work and achievements of the Swaraj Party. And we have learnt about the Simon Commission, the reaction of the Simon Commission, the recommendations of the Simon Commission. And one of the offshoot of the Simon Commission, out of two, one was civil disobedience movement and one was Nehru report. One offshoot is the Nehru report which you have learnt. So in the next class, we'll start off with the reasons and circumstances leading to the civil disobedience movement. Two side effects of the Simon Commission was there. One was the Nehru report, which we have completed. Another was the civil disobedience movement, which we will start in the next class. So that is all for today. Thank you very much.